Hi there, you're watching Gardens and Graveyards. Make sure you like, subscribe, and ring that bell so you get notified every time we plant new videos. Today we're in the backyard planting up peas and potatoes for St. Patrick's Day as per our tradition, and some more garden tasks too. I'm just going to go over these seeds real quick up close. So we have 2 purple potatoes.
Purple Vikings.
You can see that they're purple. What are they?
Purple Vikings.
Vikings. And then 2
Yukon Gold.
Yukon Golds, which have this great butter flavor. This is gonna go in the front yard, so ignore that. I've got my knife out here. Basically, we're just gonna cut these so that you see one eye. And that will grow a potato. And that's what a potato slip is. Then I've got my peas pre-soaking. These are the decorative sweet peas. And these are what they're gonna look like. We grew them last year. These are seeds that I saved. And then these, can't really see, are garden peas, sugar magnolia garden peas. They have a purple pod and then the peas are green. We grew those last year. They did really well.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I have a variety of lettuces and spinach and flowers that are just gonna come out here. And that's kind of it. Most of it's gonna go in the theme garden, but probably in a couple of other areas as well. So this is a freebie from Baker Creek. When you order seeds from them, they often will send you free seed. So this is Paris Island Cause lettuce. It looks like kind of a romaine. It's definitely not a loose leaf like this.
Hey.
Oh, the seed. I think some seeds dropped and it scared her. Which I just noticed that those seeds fell behind the lattice.
Oh, okay.
Wonderful. Okay. So, these just go in 1/4 inch, so they're cold hardy. Lettuces and spinach are cold hardy. So this is a good time of year to put them in. I think I just dropped a bunch. That's not a real flower bee. I can't see. Much better. I'm sewing them a little thick and then I'll come back and thin them if I need to. Oh. Or very, very thick. They're so tiny. I left straw in these ones.
Oh, cool.
Because
Yeah, I kind
The
I
roots
kind
are
of,
super shallow on the lettuces. So.
of, it kind of, cool.
Alright, this one is a couple years old, so I'm just gonna sew them pretty thick.
These raised beds have held up really well.
This was like one of the very first projects that
I
you
know,
did here.
I know. Rain barrel cut in half and spare lumber.
Okay.
A smattering of those.
A little. What's Jenny say? Zhuzh.
Yeah, jizz.
Zhuzh. Alright. So then I know that that's all lettuce and this will be all spinach. This is the Matador spinach. It's big. It'll have some lettuce back here, but mostly it's going to be spinach. I'm putting them at a diagonal like this because of the way the sun hits, and I don't want them to be too shadowed.
I would never thought to do that.
It's putting 2 or 3 seeds per hole. These seeds are a little bit bigger and easier to manage. But this packet's a couple years old, so I don't know how good the viability is. None of these are our favorite crops. It's just I had these extra seeds and it's early in the season and it's just nice to plant them. Get something growing in these beds.
Now we're done with that.
I'm excited about it.
That's awesome.
It's like glowing. Purple moon. It's even more awesome name. Okay. So the kale can take a little bit of shade. And right now it's in full sun, which is great for germination. But this maple's gonna leaf out in the next month or so and shade this back side of this bed. So this is a good crop to have in this container. And we're gonna do the same on this bed.
Careful.
See, this one stays in more shade because there's not as many bulbs coming up.
And we're
You know, there's like a 20-minute video about those.
You're trying to get an idea of the location is all.
Huh?
Good. Trying to get an idea of the location.
Okay, so these are the sweet peas. They've been in there for about an hour. You can sort of see they've broken their seal. You can see the little white things. That is the shell has cracked open, which is exactly the reason why we plant them or we put them in water. If you remember, they would look like this. They're gonna get planted with this. It's very, very purpley in here. And then we're gonna add these decorative dandelions. And hopefully we'll remember that they're supposed to be in here.
I have been known to weed stuff like that out.
Huh?
I have been known to weed stuff like that out.
There's not very many, so like there's only this many.
Yeah. Alright.
Eighth of an inch. I actually think I saw a bunch growing underneath the porch
Really?
in the front.
Oh wow.
Okay. So I'm gonna put 2 sweet peas in each one of those. Oops.
And the goal for them is to grow up this trellis, right?
Yeah, the idea is that they're gonna grow up this trellis. So there's a hole right here, right with this one.
Right.
This one is a little off.
Yeah.
It's okay. They'll
It'll find
they'll get there.
Cool. Cool. And over here?
And
You say?
here, it seemed like I saw just like 1 or 2 more.
No.
All right, we're just gonna. Oh, seedlings growing. Well, I have a few, so pull the mulch back.
Say again.
These things get 2 feet tall. That's the heirloom white Nigella. Nigella? It's Nigella. Bridal veil. I can't wait. They're super pretty.
Gorgeous.
So all the bulbs are like substantial, and then the flowers are going to be really wispy because I'm going to have cosmos in here later in the season too. I'll find where I put my holes. This will just be the first round of all these seeds. Most of them will be of repeat succession growing in a couple of weeks. Come out here and plant them again. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna grab my trellises. There's a bulb right where a leg.
Uh-oh. Well, it'll have to understand.
Huh?
It'll have to understand.
Maybe I should just dig that bulb up and move it.
You move one here.
Hmm?
Move that one. I just got this.
There's soil in it when I moved it. I moved this one from there to there. I'm basically just gonna plant a pea on each side of these legs. Alright, then we'll do the other one. The idea is that the peas are gonna grow up, but they'll only be like this tall by the time the tulips are blooming.
Alright.
By the time the tulips are done blooming, the peas will grow up, and then by the time we harvest the peas, the lily that's in the middle will be ready to bloom. That's the idea.
Yeah. They're behind you right now. We're losing battery.
Alright, so we just take a paring knife, and you want 1 or 2 eyes per area. So you'll notice there's no eyes over here. There's 1 eye here. That one's obviously gone. As you say, it dried up, but it's gone now. So there's 1 eye over on this side, and that one's kind of there. So I'll probably leave those 2 eyes on to feel confident that that'll grow a potato. These are not the ones that are purple inside. They're just going to be purple flesh.
Mm-hmm.
And then obviously that's a really good eye. And then that's a good eye. And on this side is a good eye. So I'm just going to take off this excess. And that's trash. Then we have this one. And a lot of the eyes are right close to each other. So you can get creative. Like there's 4 eyes here. So if I slice it down between, I lose an eye. Then I have several eyes on that one. And that one is probably just one. You can't really divide all those little eyes. That's like silly. And there's no really good eyes over here. There's a few right here that are barely there, so we can put it in the ground and see what it does. But that'll essentially, that's gonna give me 6 plants. So I'm gonna do those ones first so we don't get them confused.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna leave the flesh side up and the eyes going down into the soil.
That's interesting. I would think it would be exactly the opposite.
Well, the eye is going to be root.
Oh, okay, I got you.
The roots are going to come out those eyes.
Oh, okay, I got you.
And you want the flesh to kind of dry out a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But you also don't want the sunlight to really be getting into it because it's like a seed.
Right, 10-4.
And it doesn't need sunlight to germinate. It doesn't need total darkness, I don't think. I could be wrong. But we're just going to barely cover them up. And so we don't want them to rot. So that's the deal, is if we covered them really deep,
Right.
they would start rotting.
Right.
I don't want them to rot.
All right.
We're gonna let these ones dry out before we plant them. Alright, we're about to put this composted manure on the rhubarb. I pretty much put that whole bag on the rhubarb, which is right here. And I'll just cover its leaves. It'll come through. It absolutely loves manure. Alright. Pile of aged manure on the rhubarb. She'll be happy in a couple months.
There you go. They're rooted in the ground. This ground should be really soft.
Yeah. Those roots are? They're not the maple?
I'm guessing. It's either that, yeah, it's either that or the maple.
I'm gonna have to cut that one out. It's pretty big.
It looks like a maple root to me.
I should be wearing my rose gloves.
Oh, yeah, no kidding. Where are they? I saw them this morning.
By the front door.
How can I help you?
That's the problem.
It's grown through.
Growing through the bag.
How can I help?
My shoulder isn't loving this.
Oh, I bet. Sheesh.
Alright.
That is not the textbook way to do that.
Huh?
I'm sure that's not the textbook way to do
Well, textbook's way, you don't plant them in
that. Bags.
a grow bag to begin with. It's just
Right. Necessity of the time.
was. We didn't know where we were gonna plant them, and they were a really good deal, remember?
Yeah, they were really cheap.
So
Inexpensive.
I feel like if I remember correctly, you plant them a little bit up.
I think so too.
Huh?
I think so too.
So they can drain a little better. Plenty of soil to do it, so. These we will water in.
Yeah. I figured.
The seeds have enough moisture. Okay.
Alright.
And so don't forget which one is which.
Is there a tag?
I'll
There's
just
a
do
tag.
this on this side.
Yeah.
They're both
Okay.
June bearing, so that's easy enough to remember. See how that root's coming through?
Mhm.
It's harder to get it out of there. All right, we're done with our mid-March planting. We normally plant our peas and potatoes right around St. Patrick's Day, and tomorrow is St. Patrick's Day, so we are getting it done. Okay, just a real quick recap. We planted shiso in this pot. We planted dandelion and kale and sweet peas in this pot, and did the same for that one. In this corner right here, we did Nagelia, and we did garden peas in these square pots. And then we planted our June-bearing raspberry canes. The first thing we did is we planted lettuce and 2 kinds of lettuce and spinach over in those pots. It's like very sunny. Can't see anything. So, happy planting.
Happy planting.